Can you believe this course was filmed 5 years ago? I know, my math is not mathing either, but it's true. We had no idea when we filmed this back 5 years ago that PackPro would turn into what it has today, and boy are we excited that it did. Our flagship course, the group management course, has been used by tens of thousands of students all over the world in hundreds of facilities. And I am so excited to announce that our second edition of group management course is finally here. This new edition has all of the same content you know and love, plus new updated videos and a lot of new tips and tricks that we have learned through our last 5 years running and owning a dog daycare. Take a look at some of the exciting things our new course has in store for you. To move dogs out of a neutral zone or away from something that we don't want to be using. I want to touch on how important consistency is. We could all be using the term banana. It doesn't really matter. The point is, every single person in the facility has to be using the same commands for the same scenario, with even dogs that are not maybe food driven. So you can use praise and affection very deliberately and carefully to reward and mark dogs for doing the right thing. Dogs can just as easily resource guard us for giving praise, baby talk, affection, as they can a piece of dog food. So let's talk about some safety measures on how you're going to do that. So the next key element we're going to discuss at length is going to be different types of play. These dogs are wrestling, they're both equally invested, and the play is very balanced. So the interesting thing about balanced play is that it can also be on the rougher side. We're gonna watch a clip of wrestling that's on the more rough side. So think of it as that battle, that match, but this match is a little bit more intense. Play we're gonna talk about is chase play or chase games. Now, as you can imagine, this is gonna involve a lot of movement. So this is gonna be very movement-oriented play. And we'll talk about policing behaviors, but chasing can sometimes often lead to that because the arousal level is just becoming uncomfortable. And dogs are really interesting creatures in the sense that when they're uncomfortable, they only have so many ways to kind of voice that, right? So these dogs are not into that dog's chase game, and they're all kind of two things that I never allow during that mouthing play would be holding on. So if a dog is just holding on to a dog and it's with his mouth and just not letting go, or any type of shaking. So now let's talk about imbalanced play. We understand that balanced play is both dogs bought in. Imbalance, like we said, is gonna have one dog that's clearly, or maybe not so clearly, it could be even subtle cues that the dog is not as invested as the other dog. Running away with a shake off. So let's watch that again and slow it down. That is so subtle because what happens after he runs away is what's making this not a chase gain and a disengagement pause and play. Because right after he gets, again, gonna be important to make sure we're looking out for subtleties like that to keep the dogs that are playing safe. Small dogs can bring their own unique set of challenges when compared to their large dog counterparts. So for that reason, we're gonna dive into a few things to consider when talking about managing small dogs. Remember those big personalities I talked about? Reactivity in small dog is very common. Reactivity basically would mean they are reacting at something. So something external in their environment that they're upset by. The trick with this is, I'd like to talk about another common challenge that you will face in a daycare environment. It's called the you can't catch me game. And the only ones playing are the dogs. If you look at this still shot right here, once I've convinced her, okay, that's not gonna work, and I put her on a slip lead, did some engagement, I took her off the slip lead, and look at this eye contact she's giving me. That way I handled this situation has just strengthened the relationship I have with that dog, giving that dog an opportunity to continuously win and continuously have repetitions that are successful. So that way the dog understands, wow, every time I come towards, Olivia, I'm getting broadly as third wheeling. What is that? It's basically when two dogs are engaged in play and a third dog inserts themselves, disrupting that play. It's happening where that dog is inserting itself and it's off balanced. It doesn't look natural because it's not. And you're slowing down the play and just giving them a chance to kind of mentally be engaged. And the next advanced activity we're gonna work on is the wait at the gate activity that we learned in the previous chapter, but this time we're gonna kick it up a notch and we're gonna make it a little bit trickier for both you and the dogs. Good dog. Nice job, you guys. by jingling the door handle, we expect the dogs to break threshold. That is what's going to happen. So knowing that in advance, don't get frustrated when that happens. We're using that as an opportunity to redefine our expectations. This activity is really good for the afternoon once things have died down. And let's say you've got a dog, maybe Abby's a little bit more high energy, the rest of the group is kind of relaxing. A great idea is to bring out that place cot and work with her on it, dog. So let's see it in action. What you're gonna wanna do is start by calling the group over to you very calmly. You can either get the whole group by saying, come on guys, let's go, or you can start individually calling dogs one at a time. Then you're gonna issue the sit command. When the dog sits, you're gonna go ahead and mark and reward. If there is a dog that's constantly challenging you at that neutral zone, just go ahead and even back the dog up further past the line. The line isn't for us, it's for them. It's a line. The same principles apply. So just taking those nice big steps, rewarding dogs when they are, of course, staying out of the neutral zone, and letting them all charge out of the door at the same time. That is extremely dangerous. Dogs could get frustrated into that transition when we're going from outside to inside or inside to out, because they're bumping into each other. It's almost like barking and humping. Those two things especially, or jumping up on people, all of those are self-rewarding behaviors. Good boy. Yes, good. That moment right there is what we're looking for. Good boy. By going to your manager with what you're seeing specifically and what you've already tried, now you're setting yourselves up, both of you, to have a really productive conversation in the benefit of you and the dogs.